For many people, anxiety is an ever-present companion, an undercurrent of worry, stress, and unease that can cloud even the brightest days. In our fast-paced, constantly connected world, this feeling can intensify, fueled by clutter, obligations, and the relentless pressure to do more, have more, and be more. But what happens when we decide to step away from that cycle? For me, the answer was minimalism, a deliberate choice to simplify my life, and in the process, find a measure of peace I hadn't thought possible. My journey into minimalism began not with a grand plan, but with a single moment of overwhelm. I remember standing in my living room, surrounded by piles of things, books I hadn't read, clothes I never wore, gadgets gathering dust. Every corner of my home seemed to echo with unfinished tasks and unmet expectations. The clutter wasn't just physical, it weighed on my mind, fueling a constant sense of anxiety that made it hard to relax or even think clearly. I realized that my environment was a reflection of my inner state. The more things I accumulated, the more chaotic I felt. Every object was a tiny decision waiting to be made, a responsibility I hadn't asked for but now had to manage. The anxiety wasn't just about the stuff itself, it was about what it represented. Obligations, memories, aspirations, and even guilt. That's when I stumbled across the concept of minimalism. At its core, minimalism is about intentionally focusing on what truly matters and letting go of the rest. It's not about deprivation or living with nothing. It's about making space for clarity, purpose, and peace. I started small. The first step was to declutter, not just my home, but my entire life. I asked myself a simple question. Does this item, activity, or commitment add genuine value to my life? If the answer was no, or even a hesitant maybe, I let it go. Clearing out my physical space was both liberating and surprisingly emotional. Some items were easy to part with, but others carried memories or the weight of what if? What if I needed this someday? What if letting go meant losing a part of myself? But as I sorted, donated, and discarded, I began to feel lighter. Each item I released seemed to take a little bit of my anxiety with it. The impact went beyond my home. Minimalism encouraged me to audit my calendar, my social commitments, even my digital life. I started saying no to events that didn't align with my values, unsubscribing from emails that cluttered my inbox, and limiting time on social media. Instead of filling every moment with activity, I allowed myself the space to rest, reflect, and just be. One of the biggest changes was learning to embrace silence and solitude.